Come on in. I'm Erica. I moved from the big city to an off-grid acreage with my husband and 2 kids. I share our intentional off-grid life to inspire and educate those who desire the same. And if you're that person, make sure to like and subscribe. Okay, so there's so much to show you. I'm going to take you through everything. I just wanted to let you know that I filmed this tour over a couple different days, so you'll see me wearing different outfits, different hairdos, all that, because I'm here alone with the 2 kids most of the time. So I just did what I could when. So don't be surprised by that, but I hope you enjoy, and we're going to start right here at the very top of the driveway. So here at the top of the driveway, I'm looking down, and this curves and goes all the way to the road. So we own 10 acres here in Alberta, Canada, and it is mostly forest and just gorgeous, right in a river valley. It's a tiny river, you could barely call it that. We pretty much refer to it as a swamp because it barely moves, but it's so beautiful. We just moved in, so there's still a ton to figure out and years ahead to get things optimized into a fully functioning and beautiful homestead. This is where our well is drilled. It's at the top of the driveway just off to the right, and it's quite a distance from the house, which is back there, but it supplies the house with running water just like a house in the city. You would never know there was a difference. And there's also a tap on the outside of the house that we can use for gardening as well. So at the top of the driveway, there's 2 ways that you can go. You can go right, which goes towards the house, and you can go left, which is where the shop is located. So first I'm gonna show you the shop and a couple other things in that area, and then we'll head over to the house and do all the things around the house, and then to the backyard area where I've got a couple things to show you as well. This is the shop. It's about 700 square feet, so it's a pretty good sized building. And we use it mostly for storage. I mean, I'll take you in and show you. But a couple things to note on the outside here. We've got this lean-to area, which we're just using to store generators, fuel, tools, garden equipment, that kind of stuff. And then you'll notice that the solar panels are on the roof of the shop, but they do provide power to both the shop and the house. So here we are in the shop. You may be able to tell that this has just been a dumping ground since we moved. Still needs to be organized. But anyway, to the right here, we've got our solar system. So it's showing me the battery level. Empties over here, fulls over here, and we're trying to keep it above 50%. That's apparently the best for keeping the batteries good for as long as possible. And it says it's in a state of absorption. So right now, the solar panels are absorbing energy from the sun. The batteries are kept down here in this box. See those in there. We have 6 of them. Over here, you can see we've got a bunch of tools and assorted other things in shelving. We're gonna use this room partially as an entertainment kind of party center. So we've got a wood stove in the corner, which is excellent. And this big sectional and our TV. We don't have the TV in our main house, which we're finding to be a fantastic move. Got our bikes, antlers that need to be hung up somewhere, a pool table, and more storage. Let's just go around behind the shop so I can show you. This is all needing to be mowed, but some junk that the previous owners left there. And there are the solar panels up there. Now you can see also over here we've got a rain barrel catching water off the roof. I'll tell you a little bit more about that system in a minute. Let's head through the lean-to here. So this is our backup generator, one of the backup generators, the one we've been using because our main one is having issues, which let me go show you that. So just random junk and crap. We've got our kindling stored right here. We're not sure if that's how we're gonna keep things, but we'll figure that out eventually, our firewood storage situation. In here we have our main generator, which is a diesel generator. So this is the diesel generator. It has its own room and it's permanently in here. And so how the system is supposed to work is when the solar panels aren't gaining enough energy from the sun to keep the batteries above 50%, the diesel generator automatically kicks in, which is fantastic. We don't have to come out and start it or turn it off or anything. It just automatically happens. Right now it's got a loud knock when you turn it on, and so we're not using it. And we're pretty well getting all the energy we need from the sun anyway. So we need to get a diesel generator mechanic, diesel engine mechanic to come and check that out and make any fixes because we for sure need it. Ow. Baby's pulling my hair. For sure need it for the winter time. So that's an important part of our off-grid utilities right here. Okay, coming through the other side of the lean-to here. To the left, we've got this little path, and there's a door on the back side of the shop there, and you can see that rain barrel. To the right, we have got our diesel tank for the generator right there. Right beside that, we have our chicken run and coop. And this is a pretty fantastic homemade chicken run solution made by owners, a couple owners back. And we've got 8 chickens in there, which is definitely max capacity for our coop size. I'll show you this pretty awesome DIY chicken coop right there. Open it up so you can see what the inside looks like. Daughter already pulled out a couple eggs today. So we've got 2 laying boxes, and that's where they come in. So I'm here in front of the diesel tank and the chicken coop door, and you can see on the side of the shop here we have a very large rain barrel, and it collects water from the other side of the shop roof that doesn't catch the water that goes into the other rain barrel. So this one is huge. I have no idea how big it is, but it's as tall as me, if not taller, and I'm 5'10". So it collects a bunch of water and stores it, which is great. And there's a pipe system that brings water down from this barrel down to other areas on the property, so our greenhouse and gardening areas. So it's fantastic, really well thought out. So heading past the chicken coop here, we're going back towards the house. We've got beautiful wild roses all over here. Just little pops of pink. There's some pale pink ones in there as well. We have this outhouse here which will mainly be used for guests, you know, if we have family campouts or that sort of event here. As far as outhouses go, this is probably the nicest one I've ever seen. It's got art on the walls and it's quite just clean and nice, so it's a nice thing to have on the property. Okay, across from the outhouse and on the other side of the path to the chicken coop, we've got our septic tank. So the house is fully plumbed. All the wastewater goes here into this tank. It does its thing. And then once it's ready to pump out, it gets pumped out down the hill into an area that we never use. From the septic tank, we're gonna go over here and just take a look at the outside of the house. So this house was built, well, we're not sure when, sometime between 1978 and 1990. All the records say something different. So anyway, somewhere in there. And the siding is just slabs of pine. And you can see that it's quite worn. Definitely needs to be redone. There's holes everywhere, so there's squirrels that are storing things and living in the walls. But it's just the cutest cabin. So it started here with this middle section, and then a section was added onto either side at some point. I'm not sure how long ago that was. So this is the front view of the house or the cabin. To the right of the cabin, we've got a camper trailer here. So let's make a stop here and I'll tell you about this. So this trailer is basically its own little off-grid cabin, off-grid trailer. It's got its own propane tanks. These are 250 liter tanks. It has its own solar panel for power, and we can connect it right to our home septic system. So it's just that easy. Just plug in a pipe, and the guests can use the toilet and the shower in there. This is a fantastic guest space because there is no room in the cabin for guests to sleep. So it's nice to have this that was included with the sale. This is a totally separate and nice guest house. And it's very clean and very well maintained on the inside. Barely any signs of mice as well, which is amazing. So we're happy to have this. Right beside the camper trailer is our giant propane tank. So this is what provides propane to our range in the kitchen, as well as the propane furnace that's in the basement that I'll show you later. And it holds 3,000 liters, about 1,000 gallons. It's a big one. So beside the propane tank is this covered area. Right now it just has gardening supplies that the previous owners left. We're not sure what we're gonna do with it. They had suggested that they had the idea to turn it into a little breakfast area, outdoor breakfast area, but no idea. We might stack up a bunch of firewood in there. Still figuring that out. So we'll see. So here we are in the entryway. That's the front door right there. And you can see it's quite a big, nice space. I love the window right at the end. We don't have much as far as storage solutions yet. We don't even have any hooks on the walls here. Mark's just hung his hats on a couple screws that were already there. And we only have the one shoe rack and then the built-in shelves kind of around that window. So there's definitely work to do. We're definitely going to change it up. But for now, it's a nice big space, which honestly we're not used to. Our old house had basically no entryway. So that's the entry. So the master bedroom is just off of the entryway. And this room also is a lot bigger than what we were used to in our other house, which is nice. It's got quite a large closet, room for a bed, a large dresser, our locker, which we keep the essentials for hunting and self-defense in. And yeah, it's just a nice room. It's on the corner of the side of the house, so we've got 2 big windows. And if you're wondering why my bed looks so funky, it's because we co-sleep with our babies. So I've got a little wooden railing there that Mark made. Just makes me feel better about having my baby sleep close to the edge of the bed. So that's the bedroom. Let's head up the stairs into the loft. Welcome to the loft. This is the staircase right here. You come up. It's quite steep. Took some getting used to and bumped my head a time or two coming up here, but we're getting there. It's a nice little spot. It's always blazing hot, especially when the wood stove is going. We've got a window here that opens up as well, which is going to be fantastic to get airflow, especially since it does get so hot up here. Right now, this space is just used for some storage as well as drying our laundry. Since we are still running the wood stoves, or at least the one in the kitchen, which is directly below the loft in the mornings, it's quite warm up here and everything dries really fast still. Once it's the heat of the summer and we're not running the wood stoves anymore, I will probably be drying things outside because that will be faster. But yeah, this is just a cute little space. Eventually it might be turned into a bedroom for somebody. But right now, just storage and laundry. It also looks out over the kitchen, which is kind of a fun thing. Also, how cool is the wood in the ceiling? These holes are naturally made by some sort of bug critter. And we think that's really cool. This is the view from the entryway by the front door. So this is the third of the house that does not have a wood stove to heat it. So in the basement right under here, there is a propane furnace. And during the winter, we will open this up and the heat will just radiate up through that vent from the furnace below. For right now, we're covering it up. This is the laundry area here. Great storage in these metal cabinets here, and a beautiful wood counter. And then our high efficiency washer, which I mentioned over there, and no dryer, of course. Just off the laundry is the bathroom. It is nothing special at all. We've got a standing shower here, and we use this collapsible tub to bathe the kids. Once they get too big for that, it'll be showers for them. We're definitely going to be replacing this shower very, very soon. It's got cracks in the walls and we have no idea how long they've been there. So we definitely know there's going to be mold back there. So Mark's going to tear that out and replace it. It's also really gross. There's a lot of buildup from the hard water that was used before a water softener was installed. So it just really needs to be replaced. And then we've got just a basic pedestal sink, We've got a toilet that Mark replaced a few days after we moved here because the other one was horrible and toilets aren't that expensive. So this one is new and fabulous. And then we've got just some shelving around. There's also a vent in the floor here, like the one over by the loft stairs, and that can provide radiant heat from the propane furnace as well. We're not sure if there's ducting, or we need to look at that more in the basement to see if that's actually going to do anything or if we need to run some ducting. So that is our bathroom. Across from the laundry area and the bathroom is this pantry area, which is fabulous. I love it. It's fantastic for storage. There's a ton of space here. We've got these probably homemade wooden drawers right along here. And this is our new range, which Mark's going to be installing once he gets home. He's away working right now. So this is just sitting right here. And I do need to reorganize this. This is just kind of how I dumped everything into the shelves when we moved in, and I'm not really liking it. So I'm going to reorganize it. And we also may put a wood box here in this section because it's right beside the wood stove in the kitchen, and there's no great place to put wood in the kitchen. So Mark might build a wood box to put in there as well, but we'll see. So that's the pantry. Also, someone was really thinking when they put this up here. So heading into the kitchen here, I'm just gonna take you around like this in here because there's quite a lot to cover. So first I'll give you a kind of a 360 view here. And we'll land on the wood stove. So this of course is the wood stove that heats the kitchen, and that heat rises right up into the loft where we dry our laundry. We've got these two fans which are powered by the heat. So when it's hot, wood stove is burning, those fans come on and distribute the air around. Got these two lights above the stove as well, which is really nice. And the bar, which we can hang wet gloves, herbs to dry, things like that. So we've got the sink, and this is a real life kitchen, so there's dirty dishes and clean dishes. But here we've got our energy efficient fridge and freezer. It's pretty small, but it's working. And then some pretty old cabinets and countertop that's been painted a few times. And a beautiful view out of my kitchen sink, which is out of my kitchen window, one of my favorite things. You can see down into the river valley there. Back door is also in the kitchen. Window needs to be changed out. That'll be done eventually. Now I mentioned in the pantry area we're going to be replacing this range. And the one we got is 6 inches wider. We did that because I make everything from scratch. I really want oven space. So the one we got has a lot more oven space. We are also going to be installing a range hood up here, and I am really sad that we're going to lose this really nice shelf. We're probably going to repurpose it, put it somewhere else, or cut it up and make it into something else. But for now, while I have it, I really enjoy having my utensils and a couple of things up there. Put our chicken scraps in this little old coffee pot. Now the rest is totally unfitted kitchen. It's just these movable cupboards, and these blue ones are like the laundry room ones, homemade metal cabinets with this beautiful wood on top. So this is how we have arranged it. The previous owners had it arranged entirely differently in a way that didn't make sense to me. And the floor is pretty funky and fun. Everywhere else in the house is just a plywood floor, and this is a fun vinyl pattern that looks awesome. And I also love all the natural light that comes into this kitchen. It's just awesome. And the ceiling. This wall also has a concrete finish. I don't believe it's concrete all the way through, but concrete heats up and then it retains the heat. So that was a really smart move on whoever put this in here. Also, this wood stove has an oven compartment, which is so handy because when it's running in the winter, I won't have to use propane as much to do some baking and other cooking. If you're wondering what this is chicken feed that I'm fermenting. Apparently it makes it a lot more digestible, makes the nutrients more available, and they eat less of it. So I've been doing that. Heading from the kitchen into the living room slash office slash dining area. So right here we've got our little office set up. As you can tell, we've got some organizing to do, but it's just a nice little blank wall space we could put our desk. Next to that, we've got our dining area, and the view out from the table is another one of my favorites. Whether you're sitting on the bench or on the chairs, there's nice trees to look at. Here we have our other wood stove, and we normally keep logs in this basket. We haven't had to have a fire in a few days, so I never refilled that. And then kindling over here and fire extinguisher. And another one of these cool hanging lights. This one's dimmable, so that's nice in the evenings. This window over here opens, and we don't have a couch. I mentioned in one of my previous videos that we thought it was coming, that the previous owner's couch was coming with the purchase, but that was a misunderstanding and it wasn't. So they left us with these two chairs, which they were using as dining chairs, and we don't like them for dining chairs, so we're using them as a little couch right now. We did have them as two chairs, but I rearranged that. And this is one of Mark's 2 bear hides, bear that he shot and that we ate a couple of years ago. It was delicious. So the last room here is the second bedroom. It's a very small room. It's painted with chalk paint, the door, and we're gonna change that because it's way too messy. All the chalk dust falls on the ground there, and you can see all the nasty fingerprints that are left here. So our 4-year-old sleeping in here now. Got these nice 2 built-in shelves up here. Nice window that opens. It doesn't have a screen on it though, so we're not opening it too much, but it's kind of overflow storage. You've got a lot to organize here now. There's no closet, so most of her clothes and the baby's clothes actually are in here. And then we put this tension rod here just to hang up some of her dresses and shirts. And we've got a little cabinet there for storage as well. They left this gun cabinet, but we don't need it. It's attached to the wall, so we're gonna have to remove that at some point. We don't need it there. Yeah, that is the last room to show you in the house. So let's head back outside. Okay, it's another day and Mark has installed our new range. So now I'll take you out through the kitchen to the back door here. Got our old range there. So let's go first to the right. Got our clothesline hung up here. Little pile of wood. Not sure if we're gonna do this long term, but works for now. Down the stairs off the deck. Got our little covered area over there. And a couple of rain catchment items here. The rain comes down from the gutters, goes into this. And this is a random barrel that was just over in that covered area with the other gardening stuff. And we just set it up because we thought we may as well use it. So we pull water from this one into that one when this one's overflowing. We've got an outdoor shower. With hot and cold water. Works like a charm. Before we continue, let's just take a moment to appreciate this beautiful view. So right here we've got some gardening space. This was basically 100% overgrown lawn. So I'm having trouble with the weeds. Usually it's just me and the kids here. So honestly, my focus is to keep the rows clear of grass, and I think I'm doing a decent job. So now let's head down past the garden. And this is our little fire pit area. Through the trees here. Just very DIY'd chairs and stump stools. Little table for preparing and placing food, and an old bench. And another great view from here. Take you over here where we've got this little swing. Just right on the edge where the hill drops down. So it's a fun little spot. Coming back out of the fire pit area, let's head over to the greenhouse. What's that? Cheese, yummy. Okay, this is a greenhouse. Step right down into it. So this wall right here is about at my upper thigh. So it's pretty tall, really nice. You don't have to bend over to pull weeds or do any sort of gardening work. This is all a mess, pretty much how it was when we got here. But some nice shelving there for organizing. And then the other side here. And now the windows on the top open up when it gets really warm in here, just automatically on their own. And when it's pretty hot, I'm still opening the door because I don't want to be frying things in here. So that's the greenhouse. Now we're gonna head downstairs, and the entrance to that is only from the outside. The door is under the deck on the living room side of the house. Okay, this is the basement. Very sticky door. Now, this basement is clearly not usable for living, but we've got a lot of storage down here. A couple of shelves on the side. Mark's been working on the structure of the house, putting in some T-posts over there. And he's got some more to do. Over to the right, we've got a food storage area. So we've got some shelving over here. This freezer we're not using yet, nor are we using this one. We have 4 freezers. We're using this one and this one right now. I'm sure they'll all get used eventually. All right, let's go a little further into the basement. We've got a lot of just long-term canned food storage down here, as well as other assorted items. Oh, there's my dehydrator. I was looking for that. So this wall is just completely kicked out. You can see. So Mark's put in some posts just to try to make sure it doesn't come out anymore, and that the wall on this side is supported, because this is right where the front of the house is, the front porch area. Now this here is the propane furnace that's directly below that area by the loft stairs and the laundry area. So that's gonna pump heat right up in there during the winter time. Back here we also have a water softening system, because it is quite hard water here from our well. And hot water tank behind the propane furnace. And this space where I am is very, very low. I have to crouch in here to not bonk my head. So there's a lot of issues with the wood foundation. Mark's seen a lot of it before because his parents had a lot of the same issues, so he was confident he knew how to fix it, and so that's just another thing we're working on. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what questions you have about our off-grid life, and also what kind of things you'd like to see in future videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.